Ja.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our heads of government. The Honourable Peter S. Agawaka, Foreign Minister, Solomon Islands. The Honourable Murray McCulley, Foreign Minister, New Zealand. Her Excellency Dr. Erato Kozako Markoulis, Foreign Minister, Cyprus. The Honourable Mr. Wilfred Elrington, Foreign Minister, Belize. The Honourable Guy Lindsay Scott, Vice President, Zambia. The Honourable Peter O'Neill, Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea. The Honourable Sato Kilman, Prime Minister of Vanuatu. The Honourable Freundel Stewart, Prime Minister of Barbados. His Excellency Mr. Paul Kagame, President of Rwanda. His Excellency Mr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, President of Nigeria. The Right Honourable David Cameron, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Lord Tuavakano, Prime Minister of Tonga. The Honourable Willie Talavi, Prime Minister of Tuvalu. The Honourable Carolyn Rodriguez Burkett, Foreign Minister, Guyana. Her Excellency Miss June Sumer, Special Envoy, St. Lucia. The Honourable Teomati Ayuta, Acting Foreign Minister, Kiribati. His Excellency Mr. Senio Lewis, High Commissioner St. Vincent and the Grenadines. His Excellency Mr. Philemon Yang, Prime Minister of Cameroon. His Excellency Mr. Jacob Zuma, President of South Africa. His Excellency Mr. Mohammed Nasheed, President of Maldives. His Excellency Mr. Syed Yousef Raza Gilani, Prime Minister of Pakistan. His Excellency Mr. Marcus Stephen, President of Nauru. His Excellency Mr. Jakaya Kikwete, President of Tanzania. His Excellency Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa, President of Sri Lanka. His Excellency Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, Prime Minister of Singapore. His Excellency Mr. Armando Guebuza, President of Mozambique. His Excellency Mr. Hifikepunye Pohamba, President of Namibia. The Right Honourable Stephen Harper, Prime Minister of Canada. His Excellency Mr. Ernest Bai Koroma, President of Sierra Leone. His Excellency Lieutenant General Seretse Khama Ian Khama, President of Botswana. Honourable Tillman Thomas, Prime Minister of Grenada. The Honourable Dato Sri Mohammed Najib bin Tun Haji Abdul Razak, Prime Minister of Malaysia. His Excellency Mr. John Dramini Mahama, Vice President of Ghana. His Excellency Ngwazi Professor Bingu wa Muratika, President of Malawi. The Honourable Dr. Baldwin Spencer, Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda. Dr. the Honourable Navin Chandra Ramgoolam, Prime Minister of Mauritius. His Excellency Dr. Barnabas Subisiso Dlamini, Prime Minister of Swaziland. The Honourable Twilepa Lupilesoliai Selele Malielegoy, Prime Minister of Samoa. Her Excellency Sheikh Hasina, Prime Minister of Bangladesh. The Honourable Dr. Denzel Douglas, Prime Minister of St Kitts and Nevis. His Excellency Mr. Edward Sekandai, Vice President of Uganda. His Majesty the Sultan of Brunei, Sultan of Brunei Darussalam. Her Excellency Mrs. Satu Njai Sede, Vice President of the Gambia. The Right Honourable Pakalitha Mosisili, Prime Minister of Lesotho. The Honourable Brent Simonet, Deputy Prime Minister, the Bahamas. His Excellency Mr. Moi Kibaki, President of Kenya. The Honourable Dr. Anthony Borg, Deputy Prime Minister, Malta. His Excellency Mr. James Michel, President of Seychelles. His Excellency Mr. M. Hamid Ansarai, Vice President of India. The Honourable Kamla Persod Besessar, MP, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and His Excellency Mr. Kamalesh Sharma, Commonwealth Secretary-General. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the entrance of the Honourable Julia Gillard, Prime Minister of Australia, and Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, Head of the Commonwealth. Please remain standing for the National Anthem of Australia.
let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Beneath our radiant southern cross we'll toil with hearts and hands to make this common realm of ours green and noble and land. For those who come across the sea, we boundless plains will share. With courage let us all combine to advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair. Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth of toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty,
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Nala kulamo, nala bulamo, nala bula brutayuraku, nani nanda, tututwaniki, nala, tututwaniki.
It's an honour and a privilege to welcome the Queen to our Anunga country.
I'm a descendant of the original inhabitants of this country, the Aboriginal people. And as such, I welcome you to Noongar country, my country.
Welcome from our people and the Indigenous people of the country.
It's good to be here with our people.
Welcome to Noongar country.
Welcome.
I know it's hard to do something like this, but I feel privileged and I'm honoured to be part of this little group here today.
May God bless all you beautiful people now and forever, and thank you.
One Jew, Ngang Jurping, Wanging, Nietzsche, Ngala, Murich Yoga, the Queen, to Ngala, Murich Gar Buja.
Australia is the land of the greatest of warriors and ancestors that taught us that we share. Sharing is like the fallen leaves, the birds that sing in the trees. They have a language that teach us and show us the wind. And the Mother Earth is rich in soil, in medicine. We also share to each and every one of you that enter our world. Respect, this is what we ask. And hopefully we'll all walk together and not alone.
We share our dreams and speak with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australia. I am, you are, we are Australia.
We begin by recognising the traditional custodians of this land where we meet, represented by Elder Veronica Maguire, Elder Angus Wallum, Elder May Maguire and Elder Kenneth Kickett.
Wanju Nietzsche Ngala Murich Gal Buja. Welcome to our beautiful homeland. Wanju Nietzsche, Her Majesty the Queen. Welcome to Her Majesty Queen. Wanju, Wanju, Wanju Birias, Yogas Maman. Welcome, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be standing there before Our Majesty. Thank you very much. I'd like to say another word, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our land, Her Majesty the Queen. Thank you very much. There's another thing I'd like to add. I've got a gift to give to you. To Her Majesty, thank you very much. If you don't mind.
Bless you all and hope your meeting goes well. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Australian Head of Government, the Honourable Julia Gillard, Prime Minister of Australia.
Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, Her Excellency the Governor-General, His Excellency Mr Bryce, Secretary-General, fellow Commonwealth leaders, Premier Barnett, ministerial and parliamentary colleagues, delegates from around the Commonwealth, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends one and all. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and in a spirit of reconciliation pay my respects to elders past and present. I extend a very warm welcome to all leaders and delegates in this great city of Perth, a city so emblematic of the resilience and optimism of the Australian character, a city that looks out along the arc running from Asia and the subcontinent to Africa, where so much of the Commonwealth's history has been written. It is the story of an empire with a complex past that chose to reinvent itself as a free association of nations, drawn from all 6 inhabited continents and from many backgrounds, faiths and cultures. The strength and success of our fellowship is no accident. It comes from a commitment to make Commonwealth values real and present in the life of each member nation, and to ensure those member nations that fall short understand that their peers want to see change. Unlike other global bodies united by practical concerns such as commerce or trade, we are also joined by a very different motivation. We are a Commonwealth of values, shared values of peace, democracy, racial equality, the rule of law, and a commitment to social and economic progress. Shared values, freely embraced and consensually expressed. Values we can put to work in addressing some of the most pressing concerns that face our world, like climate change, financial stability and food security. The Commonwealth is vital to addressing these challenges, representing 54 nations and 1/3 of the world's people. How could it be otherwise? But we must also be a more agile Commonwealth, equipped to respond when our values are tested and to speak clearly when our voice needs to be heard. At Port of Spain, we reaffirmed the special strengths that come from our unique heritage, but we also resolved to make the Commonwealth stronger. Friends, 2011 is a fitting moment for reflection and renewal because it marks the 80th anniversary of our association. 80 years since our predecessors endorsed the Statute of Westminster in 1931. That year saw Gandhi imprisoned in the struggle for India's freedom. Australia marvelled at the batting feats of a young cricketer called Bradman, and a baby named Desmond Tutu was born in a remote town in the Transvaal. Recently, Archbishop Tutu celebrated his 80th birthday, and it is amazing to think of the changes that have occurred in just one lifetime. The Cold War has come and gone. New challenges like AIDS and climate change have emerged. Marvellous new technologies like the internet have transformed the way we live. The world has changed, and a wise institution changes too. So as the Commonwealth journeys towards its centenary, it's time for renewal, to answer the question posed of our organisation: how do we best pursue our timeless values in a world of change? Let us make CHOGM 2011 memorable for answering this question, memorable for being the meeting that gave the Commonwealth the direction it needed at a time of global uncertainty and risk. In doing so, we will be faithful to our values and faithful to the people who have sent us here. May we prove worthy custodians of the trust they have placed in us and ensure our Commonwealth values speak as clearly to future generations as they have in the past. On behalf of the Australian people, I am deeply honoured to be your host, and I wish for this meeting that we each give our best to achieve the best outcome for all of our nations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prime Minister Gillard. And we now welcome His Excellency Mr. Kamalesh Sharma, Commonwealth Secretary-General.
Your Majesty, Prime Minister Julia Gillard, Chair in Office, Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesa, other distinguished heads of government, representatives and guests, welcome. We thank the elders of the Noongar people, traditional custodians of the land on which we meet, for their blessing. I also convey our heartfelt gratitude for the warmth of welcome and care being bestowed on us by the government and people of Australia in setting the stage for our meeting and in their ambitions for the Commonwealth. We are immensely grateful to the people of Perth and of Western Australia for the enthusiasm with which they have embraced our presence. To have hosted 3 CHOGMs shows a remarkable commitment by Australia to serving the Commonwealth. Melbourne 1981 and Coolum 2002 were both landmark meetings and produced significant outcomes. I am confident that Perth 2011 will stand as an even greater watershed in the way we serve our people and uphold our values. Her Majesty has described the Commonwealth as the original World Wide Web and as the face of the future. I believe that Perth 2011 will be memorable in realizing our ambition of further transforming the Commonwealth, both as a 21st century network and as an organization of its time. We decided our 2011 theme should be Women as Agents of Change. With Prime Minister Prasad Bisesa handing over the chair to Prime Minister Gillard, we have lived up to it spectacularly. CHOGMs are an occasion to take the pulse of the Commonwealth, to check that we continue in good health, to review how far we have come in the last 2 years, and to set signposts for the future. It is heartening that the goals set at our last CHOGM have been realized, and in such practical ways. The network of election commissions is in full stride and on track to our ambition of establishing a gold standard in electoral practice. Our Geneva Small States Office is up and running, and our intent is to see it become the hub in the multilateral world of Geneva in service of small states. Our ambitious new Pan-Commonwealth Internet workplace, Commonwealth Connects, is being launched at Perth and will create an innovative and contemporary paradigm of partnership. There is a cascade of Commonwealth communities of practice enlisting to occupy this new platform. It will allow us all to be better informed, be more in touch, and create real results. CHOGMs have also become the occasion to bring together in celebration the full breadth of our Commonwealth community. All can serve our three aspirations of democracy, development, and diversity. And in offering global wisdom and value, we must continue to strive for equity, especially for the rights and causes of the small and the vulnerable, and in the service of our people. If there's one rich vein of inspiration that must animate all of us in the days ahead, it is renewal and reform in order to be resilient and relevant. The work of doing justice to the reports requested by heads at last CHOGM in 2009 lies before us. The review of the Commonwealth Ministerial Action Group to enhance its role in advancing our values, and the work of the Eminent Persons Group are ambitious, laudable, and merit our deep appreciation. They will propel us forward. We meet on the banks of the Swan River. Western Australia was formerly known as the Swan River Colony, and the swan is still its state emblem, the black swan. The first-century writer, Juvenal, considered the black swan to be a physical impossibility. 2,000 years later, another writer used the black swan as a symbol for the surprising and unexpected, for which one needs to be prepared. As we navigate this century, which has both peril and promise, and work together to shape the future Commonwealth, let us embrace the world of opportunity that lies ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
single voice. One voice, but not a lone voice. One by one, we join together. One by one, we make a difference. One by one, we find our voice, what we stand for and what we don't.
Many voices, many hearts, many minds, many languages, many cultures, many individuals, and yet we are one. It's our shared history of working together, a tapestry of reason and justice, of fairness and equality, action and support, innovation and tradition, collaboration and partnership.
We give voice to the values that bind us and strengthen us. Consensus and common action. Mutual respect and inclusiveness. Accountability and authenticity. The voice that never tires of saying what we believe in. Democracy, governance, tolerance. Respect and understanding. Freedom of expression.
The voice of reason and fairness, kindness and compassion, justice and integrity, wisdom and leadership, trust, honour and pride, collaboration, cooperation and encouragement. A voice that speaks for the young and the old, a voice that speaks for you.
The voice that resonates with equality and shared values. Education, health and welfare. Constancy, dependability and of change. For today and for tomorrow. The voice of many becomes the compelling voice of one.
Our diversity is what unites us. Our differences are what bind us. Our voice is what defines us. Together, our voice is strong.
Together, our voice will be heard. A common voice, common goals, a commonwealth.
Please welcome the Honourable Kamla Persad Besessar, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you very much. Today I want to offer my personal thanks to the Government and people of Australia for their mateship. Your Majesty, fellow heads of government, excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. As a child growing up, I did not know where Australia was on the map. But I had the good fortune of learning and singing a very beautiful Australian song, Waltzing Matilda. And I was very touched when, during this visit, we attended the People's Forum, and there the young students of WAPA sang that song. Madam Prime Minister, thank you very much. I felt very much at home, I must say, and therefore to you, Aussies, I say thank you for the warmth of your hospitality for us here. Today is indeed an historic occasion when, as the first chair in office woman, I hand over to another woman, chair in office, your Prime Minister, Julia Gillard, in the presence of a woman head of the Commonwealth, Her Royal Highness, Her Majesty, the Queen of England. Allow me to express my sincere thanks to the various Commonwealth institutions and to Secretary-General, Mr. Kamlesh Sharma. My experience as chair in office has been very positive. It has strengthened my faith in the value and the vast potential of the Commonwealth. I've been able to look at the Commonwealth from a new perspective and recognize the sense of shared history and identity existing amongst member states. Through this legacy of shared experiences, the Commonwealth has established relationships which seek to serve the interests of the collective rather than the interests of the few. It is about sharing in times of plenty and offering support in times of need. Indeed, it is through such mutual support, collaboration and unity that the Commonwealth is able to achieve its true mandate, to influence international society for the common good. And that is why we are, indeed, the Commonwealth. This year's CHOGM theme truly speaks to the need for solidarity and cooperation. It is clear that in order to build resilience on both the national and global levels, we must look to each other for support, for guidance, for examples, and for assistance. We must seek counsel from the wise and listen to the plight of the innocent. In this way, we may develop the capacity to withstand and overcome the challenges of today's volatile world, be they economic, political, social, or environmental. It is my respectful view that in the last era of the Commonwealth, the concern was about emerging democracies. And I think you may agree, we have emerged, we have risen. In this new era, our concern must be the equitable distribution of the Commonwealth of the Commonwealth. This is vital in the harsh global economic times to ensure we harness the Commonwealth to be the platform for networking in the areas of intra-Commonwealth trade and investment, and we are endowed with this capacity to foster the same across 6 continents. We must not squander this opportunity, because trade is essential not only for economic development, but certainly for human development and prosperity of all our citizens. Further, we must take the lead in championing South-South trade. And you may ask me why. I say this because trade has always been the lifeblood of our nations, and which will build our economic resilience. With this, thank you, with this vision in mind, Trinidad and Tobago successfully hosted a Caribbean Investment Forum in June 2011 in conjunction with the CBC, where we sought to encourage greater contact between the Commonwealth and the Americas, with Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean envisaged as a gateway between the two. I turn now to the issue of women's political participation. And I say, I'm inspired by all the women who have gone before me, where no woman has gone before. And I'm humbled today to walk in their footsteps, and I say thank you to all of them. And so, in my capacity as Commonwealth Chair, I have sought to promote, pursuant to the theme, Women as Agents of Change, the issue of women's participation in decision-making. My efforts included the organisation and hosting of a Caribbean regional colloquium in Trinidad and Tobago earlier this year, and culminated thereafter in the signing of a joint statement on advancing women's political participation in the margins of UNGA in September 2011 in New York. This joint statement was signed by Her Excellency, the President of Brazil, President Rousseff, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Michelle Bachelet of UN Women, Helen Clark of UNDP, Baroness Ashton, and myself. Prime Minister Gillard and myself will present this joint statement, heads of government, for your consideration and support. I trust that you, my fellow heads, will append your signatures thereto, and so further empower the women of our nations. As I close, allow me to raise another issue with your good selves. We have seen in the world in recent times that Vox Populi is indeed Vox Dei, namely that the voice of the people is indeed the voice of God. This has reinforced my commitment to put God in front and walk behind. That is to say, in governance, that we put the people first. This has also reinforced my commitment. This has also reinforced my commitment to listen and then lead. And the people, civil society, is saying to us that to have a truly functional democracy, we must address inter alia the following concerns: the equality of women. And this is why I promoted a cause during my tenure in office. And this is why in my country I created a Ministry of Gender, Youth and Child Development, which at this point in time is examining the issue of changing our laws with respect to child marriages. Secondly, the people are saying, civil society is saying to us, we must continue in the fight against poverty and the delivery of social service. And this is why in my country I created for the first time a Ministry of the People to have direct impact for the most vulnerable in their own communities. Thirdly, linked with the fight against poverty is my government's policy of education for all. And this is why in my country I have pledged that in addition to universal primary and secondary education, which we have, by the way, surpassed MDG 2, we are saying we must now move apace towards universal preschool education and expansion in our tertiary sector. Fourthly, civil society is saying to us there must be greater access to healthcare. And this is why we are expanding our health facilities in rural areas. And we have established by legislation a Children's Life Fund to provide financial assistance for children who cannot afford to pay for life-saving surgeries. Of course, there are other issues that the people are asking us to address as heads. Time may not permit me to raise these, but let me just mention HIV/AIDS and NCDs and the issue of climate change. Finally, to our incoming Chair in Office of the Commonwealth, Prime Minister Gillard, I wish you success as Chair, and also, I say, as a fellow champion for listening to the Vox Populi, the voice of the people, to listen to civil society. I say then, friends all, let us have renewed faith in the future of the Commonwealth. I hope it can and must have a bright future for all our sakes. But hope without action is useless, my friends. And so today I say, let us recommit and pledge to translate hope into action. This momentous occasion, the first time the three women stand at its helm, marks the beginning of a new chapter for the Commonwealth. A chapter in which the Commonwealth will move forward into the next decade of the 21st century. as proactive, vibrant and rejuvenated, a true asset to every member state. After all, we do not own this earth. We simply inherited it from our forefathers, and so we hold it in trust for children and for future generations. Let us not betray that trust. This is our greatest challenge, and yet also our greatest opportunity. From this day and from this moment, as a Commonwealth, let us pledge that we will rise together. I thank you. May God continue to bless each of you, and may God continue to bless our nations.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, Head of the Commonwealth.
Prime Minister Gillard, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your kind welcome. I'm delighted to join you all here in Perth for a meeting that promises to bring new vibrancy to the Commonwealth. This city is known for its optimism. This state is known for its opportunity and potential. And this country is known for its warmth, openness, and generosity. We therefore come together in a place that embraces so much of the Commonwealth's spirit, and we are grateful to the people of Australia for their welcome. CHOGM was last in this country at Coolum in 2002. It came when the world was still reeling from a new chapter in global terrorism. They were uncertain times at that summit. Almost a decade later, we find ourselves confronting new and fresh challenges. Insecurity and uncertainty in finance, food supply, climate change, and trade and development. This Commonwealth meeting is, for its part, the perfect opportunity to address these issues and find responses to today's crises and challenges. I should like to thank the Commonwealth Eminent Persons Group for their work, and I look forward to hearing the outcome of discussion of their recommendations. And I wish heads of government well in agreeing further reforms that respond boldly to the aspirations of today and that keep the Commonwealth fresh and fit for tomorrow. In these deliberations, we should not forget that this is an association not only of governments, but also of peoples. That is what makes it so relevant in this age of global information and communication. The theme this year is Women as Agents of Change. It reminds us of the potential in our societies that is yet to be fully unlocked. And it encourages us to find ways to allow girls and women to play their full part. We must continue to strive in our own countries and across the Commonwealth together to promote that theme in a lasting way beyond this year. I have had the good fortune, together with Prince Philip, to attend many CHOGMs over many years. Their importance has always been in precise relationship to their relevance. always being attuned to the issues of the day, and always looking to the future with a sense of vision and practical action to match. In your deliberations over the days ahead, you have the encouragement of the whole Commonwealth to maintain this vital tradition. The results of this meeting may be global in impact or simply touch a single individual, even imperceptibly. But in every respect, I trust that the results will be positive and enduring. I conclude with an Aboriginal proverb, which is itself enduring. We are all visitors to this time, this place. We are just passing through. Our purpose here is to observe, to learn, to grow, to love, and then we return home. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to declare open this 21st meeting of the Commonwealth Heads of Government.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
We are a generation. The future's in our reign. There for us to claim, there for us to trade. And we shout with acclamation that we're taking up the reins. Nothing's getting in our way. No, we ain't going away. It starts with us, this is in our hands, and together we will not be moved. It starts with us, here as one we stand, with a mission that we won't refuse. It starts with us, it starts with us, it starts with us, it starts with us, it starts with us. We must build on the foundation that was laid before us and handed on to us, handed on with us, yeah. And we'll go to a new dimension. With power we believe, the legacy we leave will go down in history. Yes, it starts with us, this is in our hands, and together we will not be moved. It starts with us, here as one we stand, with a mission that we won't refuse. It starts with us, it starts with us, oh, it starts with us, it starts with us, yes, it starts with us, it starts with us, I know it starts with us, it starts with us, yeah, it starts with us, it with a mission that we won't refuse. It starts with us. It starts with us. Oh, it starts with us. It starts with us. It starts with us. I know it starts with us. 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 United we stand. We're giving our all, and we as one. We'll rise to the call. United we stand. We're giving our all, and we as one. Oh, we'll rise to the call.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please farewell Her Majesty the Queen, accompanied by Prime Minister Gillard, Prime Minister Bessessar, the Commonwealth Secretary-General and all our heads of governments, as they depart for their meetings and discussions over the next 3 days. We wish them well in their deliberations on our behalf. That concludes our ceremony. Thank you for attending this morning's opening ceremony. We hope you enjoy the rest of CHOGM 2011 in Perth, Australia. Please remain seated until an usher invites you to leave.
3, straight and again. 1, 2, 3, and the last. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. 2, 3, and the last. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. 1, 2, 3, and again. 1, 2, 3, and one more. 1, 2. All right, and we'll do four pictures again. I think that's the theme of the day. Right, so just looking back to me. That's it. And again. Right, that's it. Nice. Yeah. Smile about.